All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, welcome on in to NorCal Sports Network. Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers, a masterpiece. Game 2, Dodgers tie up the series 1-1 with a 5-1 victory tonight. We'll break it all down, but it was all Yamamoto tonight. And I want to thank our sponsor of this show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in California, licensed in all of California, actually located in Marin County. Give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. You got yourself a personal injury situation? Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call, because David Chapman and his gang will make sure that you are taken care of. He's got an excellent staff over there, full service legal office. They will take care of you for all your legal needs. But that personal injury, they're the best. Give them a call. They will get you top dollar. Chapman Law Group, 415-613-9483. All right, Dallas will be joining us in a little bit, but this was, this was all Dodgers. This was Yamamoto tonight, and I expect the Dodger fans to be showing up in droves tonight. They weren't here last night. Only Epicua. So, how am I pronouncing that? Eparuka? Could be Eparuka or I don't know. Well, he's here. He's here. Okay. Eparakua. Eparakua. Okay, there we go. Thanks for the enunciation there, breakdown. Joe Davis, the complete joke. He was creaming fans, and I felt like I was watching on Spectrum Sportsnet LA. Someone tell Babylon Joe that this is a national broadcast. Yeah, he does. He's a young guy, and he does show his emotions a little bit. Unlike, I'm forgetting his name, but I think who does a fantastic job on the national broadcast is the Brewers announcer, who had to take 4 games sweep for the Brewers, and he was, somebody help me with his name. What is his name? Anyway, Brian Anderson. Thanks. I knew you guys would know. Yeah, I remember Brian Anderson. He did the 2021 Giants-Dodgers series. He's a great announcer. All right, but the Dodgers tie it up 1-1, and it was all Dodgers tonight. They jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first. The Blue Jays had their chances in the first to get to Yamamoto, and they did not. They had first and third with nobody out, and they had Vladdy Guerrero up. And what did Guerrero do? He struck out. Then Kirk lined out to first. Then Varsho struck out. They don't score. After a leadoff double by Springer, and Lucas singled to left, moving Springer to third, you thought, here come the Blue Jays. But they would tie it up in the bottom of the third when Springer was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning, and then Lucas struck out. Guerrero singled Springer over to third, and then Kirk hit the sac fly. And I don't know if the Dodgers or if the Blue Jays, they did not, after that, get another man on base. The final 20 batters for Yamamoto. He retired the final 20 dudes, man. That is an impressive start. That's back-to-back complete games for Yamamoto. This guy is earning his keep, right? They're paying him, he is earning it. He's got a 10-year deal. What did they give him? Like 25 a year for 10 years? I can't remember what the deal was, but man, he is something else. Yamamoto, no walks tonight. I believe he had 9 strikeouts, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the box score real quick. Yamamoto had, 9 strikeouts. No, 8 strikeouts. I'm sorry. 8 strikeouts, 1 run. That's it. 4 hits, only 105 pitches, complete game. And, we got ourselves a series now, 1-1. And then game 3 will be Monday night in LA. Games, we've got definitely a 5-game series, right? We're guaranteed 5. Is it going to go 6 or 7? Does it go back to Toronto? I think it does. I think Toronto gets at least 1 with those bats in LA, but you never know. The Dodgers can get rolling as good as well as anybody else, right? Hey, hold on just 1 second here. My son, I'm going to put something on here. Well, I'll wait till Dallas comes in here. Let me just hold on 1 second. All righty. I am back. I'll have to step away for 1 more sec here. But Dodgers bats showed up. Hey, in that it was 1-1, right? And then the Dodgers get 2 home runs in 1 inning. Will Smith, Max Muncy. Okay. All right. So anyway, we had to interrupt this concert or this. No, I smell something, smoke in my house, and I've got a 16, almost 17-year-old that's in there cooking away. And Dallas comes in. I'm going to step away and check on this. Dallas, we were talking about Yamamoto. We were talking about the Dodgers scoring in the 7th with the break it open. Well, not really break it open. They broke it open in the 8th, and they got 2 runs in the 7th and then 2 more in the 8th. But home runs in the 7th inning for Will Smith and then Max Muncy. Smith had 3 RBIs tonight. And then in the 8th, I don't know what Jimenez was thinking there on that ground ball. Like, dude, put some meat on the ball. Either throw it home or throw it to second. We're not playing softball here. Underhand toss, he threw that thing to second base like it was the egg toss, and it didn't want to break the stinking egg. Come on, dude. Throw the freaking ball. Be a man, Jimenez. Come on. This little soft toss like it's an egg toss. Dude, throw the ball overhand, man. You're 30 feet from second base, and you're giving a stinking soft toss. It didn't matter. It wasn't going to make any difference, but I would have yanked the dude, man. I would have said, get your butt on the bench. You play like that, man. This is the World Series. What are you doing? First of all, throw it to home. If you're going to throw a ball to second, man, I think Wilmer Flores could have beat that out. This guy throwing. Oh, gee whiz. What a wuss. What a wuss. All right, I'm going to step aside. I'll be right back. I got to check on my kitchen and see what the heck's going on there. Make sure. All right, I'm going to mute myself. I'll be right back.
All right, get your kitchen in order. Yeah, this was just the Yamamoto game. The Blue Jays ran into a buzzsaw. This is why this guy, they paid $325 million for him. I mean, he's good. He had some games we saw him this year where he was gettable, but the last two starts, he's gone complete games. He set down the last 20 in a row in this game. I mean, he was unstoppable. He was a buzzsaw that they ran into. And after the first game, maybe some people were under the impression that, oh, this is going to be easy. No. Not going to be easy. The Dodgers are a very good team, and this is going to be, I mean, the chances still are that the Dodgers are just blow them out of the water, but I think we're actually going to have a real series here. So, but yeah, obviously the Dodgers are not laying down. They are here to play, and it's going to be a shootout. So now it goes to L.A. and it's all tied up. So now the Dodgers are back in control. I think they kind of control their own destiny now, and it's up to the Blue Jays. You know, with the 2-3-2 series, if you don't win both at home, then actually the advantage goes to the other team.
Well, you usually end up, if you split like this, you usually end up going back game 6 down 3-2.
Right. At least a lot of times, yeah. And you win one of the first two, then you're guaranteed. You're pretty much guaranteed to come home again, unless you get swept.
Yeah.
But
I mean, anything can happen. This series wouldn't shock me, Dallas, to see the Dodgers win it in 5. It wouldn't shock me to see the Blue Jays get hot and tee off on Glasnow and Ohtani, and then they get Snell back for game 5. I could see the Blue Jays, being able to get hot. I could see the Dodgers getting hot. I think what happens is what NorCal Sports Talk Live says. I think the Dodgers go back to Toronto up 3-2. And unlike when the Blue Jays came home 3-2, down 3-2 to Seattle, they're going to be facing a beast in Yamamoto. And that is, hey, doesn't that make Casey Schmidt's grand slam off Yamamoto all the more impressive, huh?
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, you're not, Glasnow is good, but if you're going to face somebody, he's the one you probably pick to face. So, this next game is important for the Blue Jays, because then you got to face Ohtani, and that's probably not looking so hot. So, I think the next game is going to be important on Monday. And they've got Scherzer going, so the old man can see if he has another bullet in the chamber there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Scherzer's going in game 3 against Glasnow.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Now, I am surprised. Are you surprised that they're not going Ohtani game 3? Because if it goes 7, you're going to have Glasnow pitch game 7 in Toronto.
Yeah, but is there enough rest where they could manipulate that so that it's somebody else? Because it's going to be Glasnow, Ohtani, Snell, and then
Yamamoto. 6.
Yamamoto, yeah.
So that would push it back to Glasnow. I guess you can have all hands on deck in a game 7, of course, but
right.
It seems to me that Ohtani, with the clutch game that he had to close out game 4, we saw him pitch in the World Baseball Classic and close out the 9th inning. When who was he coming behind? Was he coming behind Yamamoto in that World Baseball Classic or Sasaki? I can't remember.
I think Yamamoto, wasn't it?
I think it was.
But the Dodgers are probably so cocky that they don't even think there's going to be a game 7.
Yeah, maybe.
They just say, let's just do it. we'll do it in 5, and if we can't do that, then we'll get it in 6. And 7's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And we'll worry about 7 if it comes to that, but probably most likely not.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's 8:02 here. We'll go another 10, 15 minutes on this World Series, and then we're going to switch it over to a little Giants talk. Okay. We'll do San Francisco. This is NorCal Sports Network. We like to cover the World Series, but we also like to speak to our fans that follow the show on basis of what's happening with the Giants. So
it's also the North American Sports Network during the World Series.
Yes,
Canada and the United States.
Yes. So Glasnow goes Monday. Yeah, I don't know. They did this against Milwaukee and it worked fine for him, but Ohtani's not pitching a closeout game in Game 4. At best, it's 2-1. You're up. So he pitches Game 4 to maybe put you up 3-1, and then you go back to Blake Snell for the kill. Maybe that's look, they're loaded, right? I mean, they're loaded with starting pitching. Glasnow can he can be kind of feast or famine, right? He can shut you down and you get nothing, or he could be a little off and he gives up 4 or 5 runs in 4 or 5 innings. Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, if the Blue Jays are going to win this thing, then they're going to have to beat up on some really good pitchers. And that's the only way. And they got to Snell, so it's possible. Yamamoto was great tonight, but it's possible one of these other guys decides to lay an egg. He has a bad inning, gives up a dinger, puts up a crooked number, and then all of a sudden you've got a chance.
Yes, I was talking about Yamamoto's salary. That's right. He is $325 for 10 years. You're correct.
Isn't it 12?
Maybe it is 12 years. That's right. It is 12 years. Yeah, $325 for 12. I couldn't remember.
Only 11 left though, so no worries.
Yeah, he only got to deal with him for 11 more years. No, 10. This is year 2.
Oh, it is. Yes. Okay.
Only 10. Hey, good news. Only 10 more years left of this guy. Back-to-back complete games. Only first pitcher since Curt Schilling.
22. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Adrian Gutierrez says, Dan, Giants don't have a chance with their current roster, not in the Dodgers or the Blue Jays league. Yeah, they're not right now. But just, guys, I want you to remember something. And this is what I'm going to bring up at about 8:15, okay? I'm going to show you some things where I think the Giants could surprise some people next year. Just remember, and this is your little teaser, the Blue Jays were 74-88 last year. 74-88, and they're in the World Series. That was worse than what the Giants were last year. Giants were 79-83 in the 24 season. So, and just to tease this a little bit more, it's one of the reasons Buster Posey went with Tony Vitello. So I'll share with you some stuff that I think is coming to San Francisco. All right. Dodgers is a dynasty in the making? Possibly. Very possible. I mean, not going to sit here and deny that because of my distaste or dislike for the Dodgers. We're going to keep it real here. We're obviously, if you couldn't tell, that Dallas and I represent the Giants with our twin hats. We're still going to keep it real. I watch a lot of shows and I see some people that don't like the Dodgers and they sit there and because they don't like the Dodgers, they can't speak intelligently about how good they are because of their hatred. And so they get so upset that they can't give the Dodgers credit for how good they are. Look, I never rip a team that's better than me. I salute them. I congratulate them. And then I go back to the drawing board and I say, this is me when I played. What can I do for me to get better? What do we got to do to
Sure.
get better? And
But
because
if the Giants had a blank checkbook, would they be competing with the Dodgers right now? If they could spend double the money,
I don't think
would
so.
they?
Not based on their previous regime. Going forward, yes.
Right. So it is a little bit of a. I mean, it's great for the Dodgers that they have a owner and a ownership group that is willing to invest in the team and put a lot of their. They make a ton of money and they're able to put a lot of it back into the product, and this is the reward for that.
Correct.
But you still got to play the games. You can't just buy a championship. You have to play the games and actually win. And there's more to baseball than just the stats of the players and the good. You actually have to go out and execute. And it's a tough game. Any given night, a pitcher can get hot, a hitter can get hot, and things can happen. So it's tied up now, but and the Dodgers are certainly the favorite. But you want to watch the games because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I forgot how to pronounce it. I'm going to have to put that back up. I got to go back up here, look at earlier. Come on, where is it? He says I'm fair, and I got to pronounce. Where is it? Anyway, have to put it back up there for me again. I'll have to. You know what I need to do when I find it?
He did
flag it.
Eparokua.
Did he do it again for me? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna. Now I've got it flagged. So all I got to do is go to my stars, and when I go to stars, Eparukakua. Wait. That's not Eparuka because there's 4 syllables in that.
Parokua.
Eparokua. Is that a actual nickname, last name? What is that? I got it. My eyes itching here. Hold on. I'm calling for a pitch out right now. Okay, there we go. Can you imagine? That's your sign every time. Pitch out. So, yeah. So if you would obviously do that throughout the whole game when you're not batting, so that or when you are batting, so that way people can't figure out your signs.
It's Latin. It means priest.
Oh, where'd you hear that? You looked it up?
Google Translate.
Priest. I don't think he's a priest, though.
I don't know. Maybe.
George says Giants can catch up with Dodgers if the Giants opened up their pocketbook, sign Ranger Suarez, traded for one Scooble, Green, or Joe Ryan, sign Robert Suarez to be the closer, sign Tucker too. Yeah, if they did all that, they for certainly could compete. But I will tell you this, we're a little ahead of ourselves by 4 minutes. Giants aren't doing that. Giants aren't spending a ton of money this offseason. I hate to say it. He's a saint. I guess you're a saint with that skeleton. I get it. I get it. Is Skeens under contract? I would trade Eldridge and some players for him. You might consider that. It's going to take a lot to get Skeens, but he's not even arbitration eligible for 4 more, or not arbitration, free agent eligible for 4 more seasons. So he's got 1 more year, and then he can have 3 years of ARB1, ARB2, and ARB3, and then he becomes a free agent. So I think the strike has the MLB owners holding on to their wallets. I think so. I'm going to tell you what I think, and we've got just about 3 more minutes. Let's wrap up this Dodger Blue Jays and let's look ahead to Game 3. It's Max Scherzer coming back to LA where he pitched for that one short season. or half season, whatever it was. And and he's clutch, right? He can come up big. It is the World Series. He's going to be pumped up. It's not a game in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the World Series. Mad Max is going to be on full display. And then you've got Tyler Glasnow. What do you think happens in game 3?
I think the Blue Jays win it. I mean, Scherzer looked good last time. I think he's going to be fired up. He's going to be pitching well. And I think that the Blue Jays put some runs on the board.
Okay. They can hit. Did they leave their bats? Did they do too much damage in the bottom of the 6th last night where their bats?
I think they just ran into a really good pitcher tonight. And they're going to be happy to be facing somebody other than Yamamoto tomorrow. Anybody.
Correct. Yeah.
Or on Monday. Not tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday, game 3. And then now, here's the other thing, guys. You're going to be playing game 3. It's not going to get dark in LA till what? 6:45-ish, 7 o'clock. Let me see. Hey Siri, when is sundown? What time is sundown for Los Angeles?
6:05.
6:06, it's saying. But that's...
I mean, I was just guessing, so that's a pretty good guess.
That's pretty crazy. That is sunset. It's not dark. But
right. So for a half hour after that, it'll still have some light, but it'll be...
The first hour, game starts at 5:08. Going to have some twilight. Going to have some shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So if the team is able to somehow get up, that helps Max Scherzer because might help Max get through the first couple of innings without too much damage. We'll see. I hate playing in shadows. It's just you don't see the ball very well till the end. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. But I think it's going to be a really entertaining series, just because the Blue Jays can just hit the ball, right? They can hit the ball. What is that? RC? What is that? What do we got there? What is that logo?
It's a Wildcat. So the high school my son goes to is the Franklin Wildcats, which is the same as Kansas State. They have the same logo.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Kansas State Wildcats. All right. Every time they talk to Dave Roberts, every time in the postseason the last few years, and he talks about, well, I think we can get to him. It's like within an inning or two, they get to the guy. It's like he's been right so many times the last in a tight game, and they'll be talking to Dave Roberts. Seems to not be worried, and he says our bats will wake up here, and they do. And it's like last night was refreshing because there was no time to talk to Dave Roberts about coming back. And it was just a blitz in that 6th inning. And, it was over. But like I said last night, I told you guys.
Odds are, Dodgers, with that many great bats, someone's going to wake up. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't give him that much credit.
Well, I don't know. You're facing a really good pitcher and everything, but it just, what I was saying last night is the Dodgers tend to, if they get down, it tends to wake them up all the more. Like, okay, we've got a series on our hands. We got somebody that's trying to mess with us. Time to tune it up, turn it up a notch or two. I'm not sure.
And no lead is safe. Like even 11-2 last night. I didn't count the Dodgers out for a second. I was like, it's just a matter of time before they
11-2 I did. 11-2 is pretty much in the top of the seventh. You're down 11-2. You're not coming back. But
probably not.
If it was 7-2, I wouldn't count them out. Yeah, they can get hot very quickly. Nobody's saying Glasnow is chum, unless you're reading from the chat. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just saying of the Dodgers starting rotation, he's the one. If I have to pick one to face, he's the one I pick.
Well, yeah, he's probably of the four. I mean, come on, there's always a weak link. Doesn't mean he's weak, but someone's got to be the weakest link in the armor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have four guys that are all equal. Somebody's got to be the weakest link. And he would be the Giants' number 1 or 2 starter, right? It would be either him as the ace or Logan Webb if you had Glasnow, right?
Yeah, well, I'd take him, sure.
Yeah. So the fact that he's the 3rd or 4th best starter on a team that, is just loaded. I mean, you still have Sheehan and Sasaki for next year. And I think they get a couple other guys back next year. So, Kyle says, oh my gosh, saw the home run in the 7th and knew the game was over. No need to watch the rest since I knew the score from my NorCal Sports Network notification. Dan, I'm banning, suspending, and blocking you. I didn't put the score up until the game was over.
I think he was watching it delayed or something.
Let's make sure that I actually, because I changed the thumbnail headline just before we went live, and let me see if it's actually up and correct. Yes, Dodgers even up series with 5-1 win. There we go. All right, so guys, as promised, I told you guys we're going to talk a little San Francisco Giants baseball. Hang with us, Dodgers. We're still going to be covering this World Series thoroughly. I think this World Series is going to be a competitive World Series. Whether it goes 5, 6, or 7, I think the games are still going to be competitive. I don't see 11-4, 5-1. We're going to get some of these games in here that are 5-4, 7-6. I don't think we're going to see too many 2-1 ball games with the Blue Jays. I don't think the Blue Jays will hold the Dodgers. My guess going forward is there might be one game where the Dodgers score 3 runs or less in the series, but I don't see any more than that. I don't see any more than that because I don't think the Blue Jays pitching is all that great.
The Blue Jays are going to have to outscore the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to win this.
Yeah. Tonight, we had a 1-1 game in the 7th, and then the Dodgers end up scoring 2 in the 7th with the 2 solo home runs and then 2 in the 8th. I'm still pissed off at that Jimenez throw. What the heck is that? Hey, Dallas, let's see. Hold on. Let me play some defense here. Here it comes. I mean, that was a longer soft toss than you see from the first baseman to the pitcher. When the pitcher gets a ball and I mean, throw the ball.
Well, you could never be too careful.
Yeah. Hey, let me see. I want to make sure that you really catch this. I'm going to soft toss it over to you. I mean, give me a break, man. Just put Bichette in there. Fire the freaking ball, man. This is baseball. This is not pansies. This is, it's like one of my pet peeves. I just have to share it because it happened tonight. I got out of my car and my one of my back doors. I went to lock it, hit the key fob and it wouldn't lock. And I'm like, what the heck? Did I leave the engine on? I got a hybrid vehicle, so sometimes I forget to shut it off because I can't hear the engine, right? And I think I pushed the button to turn it off. So I get back in car and I look and I go, no, it's off. Close the door, hit the key fob. Door's not locking. I go, it's a newer car, so I don't know all the ins and outs of it yet, but I'm thinking, maybe a door's not shut. Well, I go check my wife's side and the door's shut. It's fine. And I look at the back seat and it was my son. And this is about the third or fourth time. The door's not shut all the way. It's like, so I said, give it some juice, right? I want to hear some, like, you don't have to slam it, right? But you got to give it some oomph. But
those Maseratis, the doors are pretty firm, though. You really have to give it a firm push.
So I liken the not closing the door to the Jimenez soft toss, egg toss over to Kiner Falefa or whoever was in at second base. That's right. That's right, Aaron. Slam the doggone door and get off my lawn. That's right. No more soft tossing balls from like practically not quite in the shortstop hole, but he's totally playing like he's halfway between second. That was a 40-foot underhand toss.
Yeah, but even the softball pitchers could throw it harder than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. I don't know if the second baseman, I have to look at the whole play. I don't know if the second baseman was late getting there, and that's why he did it. But it looked like from the, field of play that the guy was sitting there waiting for the ball. I mean, I used to.
You don't adjust. You don't decide to soft toss it because the guy's not there yet. You just wait a beat and then you throw it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think you're right. But in the moment, pressure's on you, big time, big stage. People make mistakes.
Yeah, get off the lawn. Well, he made two mistakes on the play. First, throw the ball home, dude. It's 4-1. You're down 4-1. It's the 8th inning. Runs matter. Throw the ball home and get the next out. How are you going to get a double play with the soft toss? It's just, I don't know. It's like,
yep, you're right.
I used to have a little league coach that if a pop-up would drop, like a pop fly would drop, he used to say, I could have ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something like that before that thing came down. You had I don't know. Anyway, didn't matter. I'm just, I'm kind of, I'm a little irritated with the whole, I guess I'm not into pansy ball, right? I'm not into pansy ball. It's like, throw the dang ball. You're in the World Series. Go home. Go throw the ball home first. That's your first play. And then you turn and do a soft toss like, let's be careful here. Let's make sure we get this double play. Let's not make any mistakes.
Yeah, but it's also a mindset. This is the World Series. This is the real deal. There's no room for timid play. You make decisions, you execute on those decisions, and you do it accurately, and you just got to play like a robot. You got to make every decision the right way. You got to make every throw. You got to make every play, because that's how you win World Series games. Because if you mess up, you make mistakes, then you're going to lose. So it's a mindset. And they have, maybe someone will address that with them.
Philip says, yo, Anthony, like, yo, Adrian. Remember that? Yo, Adrian. Rocky one, remember? Yo, Adrian. Sorry, I forgot to message you back on Instagram. Okay. It's going to be 88 degrees in LA for games 4 and 5 for what it's worth. Ball may be flying. Whoa. Yes. Love it. That would be nice to see some. Do you remember that game that the Giants played in the 21 series in LA when it was just like smog or smoke? You could barely see the field. It was like
I do remember that.
It
with
was
the
like
fires?
No, I don't even know if it was because of the fires. It was some weird haze that came into LA. That was game 4, 3 or 4. I can't remember, but that was wild.
Maybe not.
It was like might have been the fires. I can't remember, but it was very, very like dirty air or something. And I couldn't remember if it was something to do with the heat or what it was, but yeah. All right, so let's move on to Giants talk, guys. Giants talk.
You want to change that background, Dan?
We could change the background. Or we
Just get us in the Giants mood.
Giants mood. We can change the stadiums. How's that?
There you go.
Let's get us into some Oracle Park there. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Oracle Park, little mood. Look at the sign up there, Oracle Park. All right. I want to talk to you guys about a couple things. One that was that could hurt the Giants in the offseason. And believe it or not, they're going to still owe Blake Snell $17 million next year. The bonus that he signed when he signed that contract, Farhan put very little money into the 2024 season and skipped it this year, and it comes due next year. So that's like them signing a new free agent, adding $17 million to their payroll without getting a player, and he's going to play for the Dodgers. All right, tell me about that. This dude wasn't an actual. I mean, I don't think he was a plant or anything, but if you really believed in conspiracy theories, this guy is like, he not only screwed up the Giants for 6 years, and now he's screwing them up in favor of the Dodgers. He's now back working for the Dodgers. How's that? I mean,
yeah.
The guy,
to be fair, I don't think he's doing much baseball stuff. I think he's
he's
doing soccer
like,
teams or something.
Well, I think he's like going down and like, heading to like Costco and picking up items for Mark Walter, the owner. Like, hey, can you go get some cupcakes and make sure get. We're gonna have a get together. Make sure you get a full tray of cookies. Get the Costco cookies, get some watermelon.
He has an algorithm that analyzes the prices at all the stores, and then he knows, for Sam's Club, you get the cupcakes there, and then you can go to Costco to get the cookies. So he has it all mapped out and getting top dollar on all these purchases.
Yes, exactly.
But you're absolutely right. He's making Blake Snell next year is making $12,800,000, $12.8 million next year. The Giants are paying him $17 next year. So next year, Blake Snell is going to play for the Dodgers and make more money from the Giants than he will from the Dodgers.
Yeah. Bear kept Farhan around. He's to blame as much as Farhan. Well, that takes me to my tweet, guys. And I will show you the tweet I'm talking about. It is one that I, too, blamed Farhan earlier today. And that is this. Hard to believe that clown Farhan is still negatively impacting the San Francisco Giants. They still owe Blake Snell $17 million, which comes due next season. That is absolutely unbelievable. Thanks to Larry Bear for this mess by hiring Farhan in the first place. His incompetence has been on full display since he took over for Bill Newcomb. That's right. Farhan was hired by no other than Larry Bear. And so before I get to the next one, let us bring up our member Chardall. Wait, what are we doing here? Oh, I guess we got to kill this, and we'll kill. Oops. Nope. We're going here. Chardall. Hi, Dan and Dallas. How are you both doing tonight? And you two are great. I'm a big fan of you guys. F the Dodgers. Go Toronto in the World Series. There you go. Thank you, Chardall.
Thanks, Chardall.
Your membership for 14 months. We appreciate you, Chardall.
F the Dodgers.
Yes. And can you pronounce the first name of the Blue Jays, the city? Can you pronounce that? Let's see if we pass the test, Dallas.
Toronto.
Very, very good. Toronto. Not Toronto. Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Toronto, like Geronimo. Geronimo. Toronto. 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 Okay. We do not want to call them Toronto. Like, they got, like big Sergeant Uncle Hulka with his big toe, right? Are you muted? Oh, he's on the phone. He's on the phone. Okay. I didn't know if he was having doing a live skit there. I wasn't sure.
No, not a skit. I got to let the dogs in, so I'll be back in 60 seconds.
All right, we'll bring you right back. There we go. All right. So 60 seconds. We'll count. We'll see. 60 seconds. We'll hold him to it. AM horn key. We might be able to open things up. Posey was going to let Melvin go if we had Snell. You can tell he wanted to make a change. Even if he had Snell. Okay. I'm about ready to explain something to you guys why Tony Vitello is the manager of the Giants, okay? And why I think there's hope for the Giants in 2026, even if they don't go out and spend. If they get pitching, I'll be happy. I would love to see him get Schwarber. I would love to see him get Bo Bichette. I would love to see him get Kyle Tucker. I don't think they get any one of those three guys, personally. I think if they maybe got one, it might be Bichette, but we'll see. But let me tell you guys why you have to keep it here at NorCal Sports Network, because we're going to actually educate you guys here, okay? We're not just going to be spewing from our hip things. This is key. I want you to look at this. The Toronto Blue Jays jump from worst to first wasn't luck or coincidence. It was the product of a clear philosophy led by first-year hitting coach David Popkins. Popkins brought in a modern model for team offense, emphasizing – hold on here. Let me what happened to our – what the heck happened?
That's a good name. That's a good name for that.
Like Popkins. Mary Popkins? Like Mary Hop?
Yeah, but you
Poppins?
got some pop. You want some pop in your bat.
Yeah. Popkins. Like, is that like Pop-Tart? Popkins. Okay. Popkins brought in, I don't like saying that. I like Poppins, not Popkins. Get the K out of there. Is it okay if I just call them Poppins? I don't like saying Popkins. Is that all right, Dallas? Or
sure, go for it.
All right. Poppins brought in a modern model for team offense, emphasizing bat speed, measured intent, and giving hitters the freedom to compete on their own process. Gaining nearly 1 mile per hour of average bat speed in a single season is impressive enough, but doing it with an aging roster and seeing that number continue to rise deep into August and reach 72.2 miles per hour in September. That doesn't happen without a real deliberate change in process, average bat speed. Now, let's listen to this here, and we'll We'll start it over.
When the Blue Jays lineup was introduced before Game 1 of the ALCS, one of the biggest ovations wasn't for stars like Vlad Jr. or George Springer. It was for their first-year hitting coach, David Popkins. That moment said everything. A year ago, Toronto finished last in the AL East, 20 games behind the Yankees. This year, they won the division and reached the World Series for the first time since 1993.
High fly ball, left field, Arozarena, watches it go!
Toronto's returning position players generated almost the entire jump from 21 to 32.6 F4. 7 of 8 regulars improved by at least 23 points in WRC+, while the only one who didn't was Vlad Jr., and the $500 million man is currently on a tear in the postseason.
All right, I'm going to cut the sound there because I got to get the sound out of there because of can't have all that with the monetization anyway. So
The YouTube police.
YouTube police, exactly. Here. So let me see if I can build bat speed, training intent, process freedom. This is what they did with a lot of drive line. 4 of the top 70 exit velocity. Addison Barger gained 3.4 miles. George Springer, 2.4. He increased. Bo Bichette, 1.8. So they're trained to move fast, and this was all based on this David Popkins. And what hold on here. Let me pull this. I'm going to pull this back up. So this was a lot of stuff to do with driveline, and I want to tell you why I bring this story up is because let me pull it back up, my tweet here. Oh, I got to go back to my post. All right. For those that don't think Tony Vitello is the right man for the San Francisco Giants as their new manager, just know how he embraces all of this, what we just looked into with what the Blue Jays are doing. Some of you need to do more research instead of just winging it with your ignorant comments. Tony Vitello, let me read you something about Tony Vitello. This is taken right off of Google. Tony Vitello, the new manager of the Giants, has a known history with Driveline Baseball, a data-driven baseball player development organization. While at the University of Tennessee, where he won the 24 College World Series, Vitello embraced cutting-edge analytics and training methodologies, including those pioneered by Driveline to transform the program. Vitello's reliance on data and technology was a major factor in the Giants' decision to hire him directly from college ranks in October. Okay, an unprecedented move in MLB. Giants president of baseball ops, Buster Posey, cited Vitello as one of the brightest, most innovative, and most respected coaches in college baseball today. Okay, guys, if you haven't figured anything out, is Vitello has been doing this, and Buster did this in 21. The Giants were doing this in 21 with Kapler and crew, and they were much more prepared for their opponents. They had so much going on in the analytics, but what happened is you had a weird dude in Gabe Kapler, okay? He wasn't a good communicator. He didn't communicate well with the players. He texted instead of sat down and talked to guys. And Tony is everything of Kapler as far as the analytics, and even more so, but he's so much more of a down-to-earth guy, and he is going to invigorate these guys. They're going to buy in. And I crack up at the people who say, I don't like this move, but I love what Buster Posey's doing prior to that. Buster's the guy. Buster's the guy. Buster can do no wrong. Buster's going to take us to the promised land. We believe in Buster. And then he hires this guy, and people go ape crap, just lose it thinking that this is the worst hire ever because he has no professional experience. Look, the game is changing, guys. It is an analytics game. And, Bochy won the World Series with Texas, and everybody said, hey, look, old school ball, get rid of we don't need analytics. You need analytics, okay? It's where the game is at. But you still need normal people calling the shots and guys that have communication skills, guys that know how to motivate you. They're going to train you guys. Look, I was at the 21 season when the Giants, I was at the very first few practices of spring training. And, if you ever go down to Scottsdale, you can go right up to the backstop, and the players are right there and they're all sitting around and pretend this is a big iPad. They're just all looking at it. And I'm sitting there looking at their screen, what they're looking at. And I look at Brandon Belt, and this is all new to these guys, right? It's new to all these guys, and they're bought in, and they won 107 games. And Buster knows that his teams were more prepared, and they were. So what Tony is going to do, and I see the comments in the chat, you still need the players. Absolutely, you need the players. Toronto has better players. But if you look at Toronto, they got some nobodies in there that are hitting pretty well, too. I consider Barger before this year a nobody. Schneider, not much of anybody, right? Dalton Varsho, he wasn't the greatest. He was with Arizona, and he's done well. I mean, they're big. Look what Bo Bichette did this year compared to last year. His batting average just came way up. Why do you think these guys are hitting the ball with great exit velocity? Because they are buying in. They did training techniques with driveline. Tony is going to turn this team around. Maybe not overnight. I'm not promising that they're going to be a playoff team next year, but I can tell you what, they're going to be better prepared to play baseball, and they're going to play a more exciting brand of baseball, and they're going to be fundamentally a lot better. And they've got players that are coming up in the system that might be a few years away. But to say this guy is just because he doesn't have major league experience, look, he's 47, okay? He's been very successful in life. If Buster Posey, this is what cracks me up the most. If Buster Posey was impressed with him, and he just retired 3-4 years ago, don't you think he would know if players are going to disrespect him or not?
Absolutely. I mean, he would not do this if he didn't think that there was a high degree of it working.
Exactly.
And you do see the clips of just all the rah-rah stuff and just that college game, but this is a smart guy. He's an adult. He's able to adjust his managing style for what the situation calls for. Exactly. And he will have to make some adjustments to how he conducts himself and just the way he runs the team. But I'm sure that is a calculation that Buster has taken into account, and he's had discussions with them, and I'm sure this has been addressed. Here's how you tweak what I do in the college ranks to be able to make it compatible with Major League Baseball. I know this has already been addressed by them. Now, it could still not work. There's no guarantees in this move. It's unprecedented. It's never been done before. But Buster Posey is not somebody who just does things on a whim. He is deliberate. He's methodical. He thinks things out, and I'm sure he's done that in this case. So because it's Buster, if this was Farhan, I would have less. I'd be less enthusiastic about the move. I would tell you that right now. Yeah. But because it's Buster, and I have trust in the decisions he's made so far, his personality, his desire to win, his history with the Giants leads me to believe that this could be a great thing for the Giants. So I am holding out, judgment. I want to see this. I think it has a great chance to work because Buster thinks it has a great chance to work, and I want to see how this works out.
Right. Buster played.
You're muted, Dan.
Oh. There we go.
Now you're frozen.
Yeah. All right. Am I frozen? Am I moving?
Muted and frozen.
Muted and frozen. What's going on?
Can't hear you. No.
Wow. I'm frozen.
Hopefully you can still hear me.
What the heck?
So,
I can hear you.
Yeah, it'll remain to be seen. But I can't wait to see. But someone in the chat just mentioned you still need the horses. Instant One says you still need the horses. And that's what I agree with Dan that this year they're probably not going to be spending a ton of money, but what they do need to do is put a pitching rotation together so that you can at least have confidence in that. You want one even deeper than last year, where you have Dan. We hear you yet?
Everybody can hear me. They say.
I can't hear you. So can anybody else hear Dan?
They say they all say
me,
they can.
Actually.
So it was you while I was moving and grooving.
Let me fix my stuff.
All right. So anyway, yeah, I think the fact that Buster makes this move, he played under Kapler, probably appreciated the preparation that Kapler and his coaching staff put into the team, and that they were focused on getting these guys prepared. Remember, they had Donnie Eckler as their hitting coach, and who Donnie Eckler was involved quite a bit with Driveline. So you get this back, you get this type of crew back to this.
Does he have a job yet,
style.
By the way?
Who's that, Eckler?
Donnie Eckler?
Eckler, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I would love to see him go sign Tucker. Go spend the money, and go get the pitching and make this look what the Cubs. They got Tucker. They got to the playoffs. They need to get these guys moving. I don't think they can
tell he's unemployed.
I don't think they can sign Schwarber because then what are you going to do with Devers? Unless you're going to trade Eldridge, and if you sign Schwarber, you're trading Eldridge because Devers got to play first base because Schwarber is not anything but a DH. So I don't think they're going to get Schwarber.
Isn't that too much of that same player that strikes out a lot but then hits home runs? At least with Schwarber, he hits a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
So you can afford the strikeout percentage with him. But they do need to balance this team more to get more guys that are contact hitters, higher average hitters, so that you don't have these lulls in the lineup.
We're getting the horses, according to Norcals. He says somebody said we need to have the horses. They're getting sovereignty in journalism to that will be done. There we go. I like it. We got the horses. So I just think this move, even though it's unprecedented, guys, go read his goodbye press conference to the University of Tennessee. The guy is first class. He's not going to take any garbage from people. He's just not. And number one, he's Italian, man. He grew up Italian. This dude is going to, you see me say, get off my lawn. When I get pissed off with just a toss the second base. Tony Vitello, I tell you, he'd come unglued if he saw that Jimenez toss the second base. He would be like, in the clubhouse, he'd be chewing him out. Like what, probably behind.
He wouldn't be more unglued than Dan, but he'd be close.
Yeah, I think
the post-game pressers and stuff are going to be a lot better, a lot more entertaining.
Oh yeah, you're going to have everything's going to be much better. It's going to be. People are going to love Tony day one. Everybody that I have read about that quotes him, they say day one. Look, Max Scherzer loves him. I wouldn't be surprised if Mad Max becomes a San Francisco Giant next year. And I would be for it because he might be able to give you 15, 18 starts, right? And you're going to need those starts. You need guys like that to share the starts. You need 162 starts, right? So you got to find them somewhere. And the Giants are not only you can only get 32 or 33 out of Webb. That's the max you're going to be able to get out of Logan Webb. Sorry, guys. 33 starts, okay? Where's the other 129 coming from? Okay, so maybe you get, let's say you get 29 out of Robbie Ray. Now you need 100 more. Let's say you get 25 out of Roop. Now you need 75 more. You're going to need guys like Ranger Suarez. Or a Valdez, guys that go deep and that pitch games. You're going to need a guy like Adrian Hauser. You're going to need a lot of pitching. And you get the pitching and you get the relief pitching. And then you're going to need some position players. My concern with the Giants going forward in this offseason is maybe they come up to the 240 mark, 244, but I don't know if they blow past that. And
Probably not.
And they could blow past it if they chose to for a year and dip back under. If, there's a couple of pitchers that are like 27, 28 years old in Japan that are going to be posted. They're not going to cost as much. That are decent pitchers. Go get guys like that for your fourth and fifth starter. Sign a Suarez and then go get a couple of those Japanese pitchers. I don't care. Give me some more arms that can get you through the year. We can't rely on these guys can't rely on Birdsong. We don't know what he's going to do. He doesn't have the innings under him. Can't rely on Mason Black, Kaiwei Tang, Keaton Wynn, Tristan Beck. You can't rely on these guys. You just can't. You don't know what they're even going to give you from inning to inning.
McDonald, Wisenhunt.
Wisenhunt.
There's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are maybes, but you can't rely on maybes. You can rely on maybes for one rotation spot.
Or you can rely on those guys
well,
in the bullpen, and then they're capable of starting if you need.
You probably will need some of those guys in the bullpen because they don't have a bullpen either.
Yeah. George Kirby says, I would not be surprised if Mad Max becomes the assistant pitching coach to JP Martinez. Keep the BP coach. The batting practice coach. Okay, Mad Max will pitch one more year. Maybe the Giants call him. Yeah, we'll see.
Probably. I think he'll fill that role that Verlander filled last year. The veteran that comes in, eats your innings, but also you want guys that have already bought into Vitello.
Yeah, and he loves Vitello, and he's going to be – and Mad Max fits it, right? Mad Max.
So you'll have Gilbert, you'll have Tidwell. Those guys have bought in already. You'll have Scherzer. He's bought in. And then he'll have to get Willie Adames on board early on. That should be the first place
Willie will be fine. The first guy he really should go is Devers, because that's going to be the guy that you're going to have to really get on board. Willie's fine. Willie will love Vitello because Vitello is he's just a master communicator, guys. And
Devers is pretty easy though. You just talk to Devers and say, hey, just do your thing. Whatever you want to do, just do it. What has made you a success, your career, and we'll be good. So you got to get. It's a lot of the. I mean, the younger guys, I'm not worried about. The Casey Schmitz and those guys. So, but there's already some players that are predetermined to buy in.
By the way, I did talk with Casey a couple days ago, and said, he'll be joining NorCal Sports Network. He's on vacation right now. He'll be joining probably in a couple weeks or so. after the World Series. But I said, I'm really excited about Tony, and he said he's very excited too. Look, Casey's only 5 years removed from college baseball, so he knows Tony Vitello from his days at San Diego State, University of Tennessee. Man, everybody, Tony's a rock star in college baseball, and he's not going to come in here and act like he doesn't know what the heck's going on. He's just not. It's like, oh, I'm so intimidated. I'm in Major League Baseball. Look, he's gonna figure it out. He'll read the room. If he does some stuff where he feels like he's not getting buy-in because it's too collegey or something like that, and the players are pulling back, he'll figure it out.
Adrian Gutierrez says, I would keep Verlander. I'd keep him too, but I don't think he wants to come back. I think he wants to the Giants didn't get him enough wins this year, so he'll probably go to Houston or some other team that he thinks that he'll have a chance to get more wins.
Well, I was speaking to Justin just a few days ago myself again, and I was talking about him coming back, and he said he would come back under one condition, that Ryan Walker is not on the team.
Say that again, Dan.
He said he would come back under one condition, that Ryan Walker's not on the team.
Where's my rim shot?
I think Walker messed him up like 4 games. He cost him 4 wins last year.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? How many did he need? Like 30 something to get to 300? How many wins? Let me look him up. I'm going to look Justin Verlander.
I think it was 37 or something like that. It was a lot.
Justin Verlander
He's probably going to have to pitch 3 more years, and now he's still going to have to pitch 3 more years.
Yeah. Verlander finished the season 4-11. Probably should have been about 8-7, 8-8. He has lifetime wins. Justin has, hold on here, wins. Lifetime 20 years, 266. So he'd be at about 270 right now. But then he'd only need like 10 wins a season for 3 years. Now he needs like 12.
He's not going to make it. I'm sorry, Justin. So come get another paycheck here, and it'll be better than last year.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get Verlander and Scherzer. That's a lot of money for us. Those 2 guys would fill one rotation spot, They're going to both be hurt for half the season.
6 string says he's showing up tonight. What a game. My Dodgers with Yoshi dominating will give the team more confidence to leave Toronto with a win. Well, 6 string, why didn't you show up last night? I don't understand that. What happened last night? You got to show up and take it when it's not going your way, and then you can come in and gloat when it goes your way. But you can't have it both ways. This isn't Burger King.
It's not as fun, Dan. It's not as fun.
This isn't Burger King, guys, where you can have it your own way. George Curry says Giants should really look to trade Casey to Miami and see if we can get either or both of Edward Cabrera and Ronnie Enriquez. I love Enriquez in the bullpen. We could maybe get a starting pitcher and a bullpen arm. I don't know if that works out on the trade machine with Cabrera. Cabrera might be a little bit high to get for just Casey. I think you'd have to, you know what? I'll look it up for you. Why not? I can look up the baseball trade machine. I pay a fee for that every month, or maybe I paid annually. I'm not sure, but I have access.
I'm going to build my own trade machine. They're making money off of Dan's out there, then
there
I can
you go.
do it too.
All right, let's look at the trade simulator. Oh, they might want me to log in. Oh, I am logged in. There I am. All right. Trade machine. Let's see if anybody's throwing out any trades in there. All right. You want a 2-team trade between who is this? I'm not looking at the chat. Is that Philip?
Well, that's a good idea. You publicly post all the trades that people do, and then people vote on them. Like, this is the best trade. This is a good trade.
Who's in the who put that up? Was it Philip? Hey, I'm a GM level. I'm not supposed to have ads. Get off my lawn. Giants and Marlins. No, I pay for no ads and I get ads. I don't like that. All right, so let's look at the Marlins and let's see what Cabrera is going to cost us. Get the ad out of there. Oh, Cabrera. Okay. It's going to cost a little more than Casey, but he is gettable. You want and Ronnie Enriquez. I think we can put a deal together. I think we can do this. Okay. Hey, you know what? Maybe I should show you guys instead of just keep you in the dark. That might be good, huh?
I'm going to hop off and hop back in, see if it fixes my audio. I'll be right back.
All right. We're gonna show you a little bit of what we've got going here, guys, and then we can add. That's George, not Philip. George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree. Okay. All right, George. George says password is Dan Cucimilio. Yeah, you can go ahead and try that, guys. See if that gets you. Go on to the baseball trade machine. See if you can get in with my password. Password is Giants. Okay. All right. Good guesses. Good guesses, but I don't think you'll guess my password. Let's pull up the trade machine here. All right. So Cabrera. Now we got to look at we got the Marlins. Now we got to come up with some Giants players. And I like Yuri Perez a lot too, guys, but he'll cost you. But Cabrera might be gettable. All right, here's our surplus values. All right. Oops. What the heck? Did we get on page 5? No. Why are we? Okay, I know what I did. Look at Devers, Jung-Hoo Lee, Robbie Ray, all negative value because of their contracts. Tough to get rid of any of those guys. All right, here we go. All right, we got a total of 25. We need to come up with 25. What will Miami want? They will want young players. All right, they're going to want young players. They're going to want a major leaguer. Casey, I hope you're not watching from your location here. I didn't suggest this trade, Casey. It was not me. Only 6. Casey's value dropped. It was 8 the other day. All right. You want Casey, and you're gonna need a young guy. They're gonna want an arm. Jose Buto is 10. All right. We're gonna give up Wisenhunt, and we are going to give up. Where are we at now? We're at about 17. We need 8. We need 8 more. 7 or 8 more. Let's see. We're at 18. We only need 7 more. Who's at 7 that'll get us to value? How about the young shortstop? We got many shortstop. We don't need this guy. There you go. How about that trade? Would that work? That's a possible trade right there, right? 25. Cabrera and Enriquez. Yeah, I really like Enriquez, and I like the idea of Cabrera. Good stuff. Lots of trade things that could happen. The Giants are going to have to give up guys probably like Walker Martin in the system, or if you want to go for the big gun, the big star, you got to go with Eldridge. Give them Budo. Problem is, George, they probably don't want Budo. They probably want somebody that's younger, that's actually, decent, that's got some potential. So Giants don't want Bo Bichette. I think the Giants would want Bo Bichette for sure. I would think so for sure, guys. Oh, yeah, give him Luciano. Maybe the Marlins play him. Yeah. You know what? You guys want to know what Marco Luciano's value is, by the way, guys? Would you be shocked if I told you it was 0? It's actually 0. He has no value on the trade market. He's a flat 0. Marco, let me see. At least he was a couple weeks ago when I looked. Oh, I don't see. I'm down to 0.2 on page 4. That's what Tristan Beck is, 0.2. Keaton Wynn, 0.2. Giants are just loaded with a bunch of zeros. There you go. Hey, remember Cole Waits? There's another 0. There you go. Luis Matos and Marco Luciano, 0s. Good job, Giants management, by just destroying at one time your top 2 prospects' value is 0 now. And they're only 23 and 24 years old. 0. Is that unbelievable that they destroyed these? It's because they didn't trade them when they're – yeah, Waits is still around. Yeah, can you believe it? So I don't get what the Giants have done with their minor leaguers. If anything, guys, what this should tell you is if they're going to trade their minor leaguers and want to get real value, you might want to consider trading Bryce Eldridge while his value is high, because if they handled him like they handled the rest of their top players in their system, his value will eventually go to 0. Yeah. Dallas says someone would take them. They would, but you wouldn't get much for them. You might get a 1 or a 2, someone whose value is 1 or 2 in return. You're not going to get somebody's value that's at 20. George says, I agree, Dan. Giants would want Bo Bichette. He would be awesome at second base for us. He can't get 100. He can. I think he meant he can get 175 hits. And yeah, exactly. Exactly right. I think that would be the case with what happened to Dallas. Have you been out of the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at you, but you were. I didn't realize. I saw you below. Like, see.
Well, that's why I'm typing away in the chat.
Oh, you're down. You're wait. Where are we? Oh, that's your chat. Well, no, that's mine. See, there you are, right down there. That's what I'm looking at. But when I had everything on the screen, I thought you were in the screen. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I was wondering why you were typing. Yeah. Why don't you say it? All right. Tired of the trade Eldridge BS. Ultra modern 007. No one's suggesting that you trade him. I only said if you're going to lower his value and not actually bring him up and let him play and work through his rookie issues that he will have, which is striking out a lot.
You do have to listen to offers on him because you have 2 of the same players. One is a proven veteran that you're already paying millions and millions of dollars to, and he plays first base, and he's a DH, and he's a power left-handed hitter. And you've got Eldridge, who's a power left-handed hitter that DHs and plays first base, and completely unproven at the big league level. Strikes out way too much, 30% of the time, and complete unknown if he's going to make it or not. Now, he could be the next big thing for the Giants. He could be their next, big slugger that's going to be here for next 12 years. We don't know, so you have to at least listen to what the offers are, because you do have a little bit of crossover between those 2 guys. Now you do have the DH that luckily as much as I hate the DH, it is nice to have it in these situations. You don't have to put Willie McCovey in left field. You can play one at DH.
Correct. Yeah, George, I knew what you meant. I actually read it as can. I figured that's what you meant. So I would love Bo Bichette. Somebody asked me my ideal lineup, not me, but they put it out on Twitter. What's your ideal Giants lineup next year? And I tried to be realistic, right? I tried to be realistic and not, it's Kyle Schwarber and Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker, and we just get all these guys because the Giants aren't going to get them. Okay. Like I said, they'll be lucky if they get one. But so I went realistic and figured they're not going to be in on Tucker. He's probably going to be a Dodger. I mean, I don't think the Dodgers are going to. Dodgers outfield isn't that good. Okay. It's just not. And they could probably afford to give Tucker, where he's really, the market might be at tops for him, $400 million, because he didn't have the greatest year. The Dodgers could give him closer to $5 million and defer a ton of it, right? Maybe pay him like a couple $100 million now and defer $300 million, and he would be thrilled with that, probably, because he would get $500 million and he'd still make $20 million a year for 10 years. You can give him $500 million, defer $300, and what they do is they take that 150 of the 200 of the 300 they owe him, they put it in annuity, and they just let it grow. And then at the end of the 10 years, they have their $300 million. So they end up really getting Kyle Tucker for 10 years, $350 million instead of $10 million, because that's and that's how they do it. I'm just telling you, that's how they do it. And
is there a point? Is there another bracket? Or are they in the highest tax bracket for the luxury tax?
I'm not even sure.
They're paying a ton right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it escalates to another level.
I don't think they care. I don't think they care. They're bringing in more revenue than payroll.
Yeah, but isn't there like a business calculation that says we sign this guy for $500 million, it ends up calculated out to being this much money, we have to pay this much more in tax. Does that guy add to the revenue enough to make it worthwhile? Like, is there a business decision being made here, or is it just keep adding?
No, there's business decisions. The more World Series titles they get, the more money they can jack up ticket prices. They can jack up concessions. They can get sponsors worldwide.
If they win it this year, and they're still going to be the odds-on favorite to win it next year, does spending another $500 million add out? Like, okay, we're going to win it anyway. Do we need to spend this much money?
Well, if you want to be
interesting,
if you want to beat the next CBA and get everybody under the old system, because I got a feeling if they got guys in, I don't know if you can unwind those deals and penalize them.
Yeah, but also, isn't a salary cap likely coming?
I don't think so. I think it's needed, but I don't think it'll get done. Unfortunately, I don't think a cap will actually get done. I think that'll be the issue that stops baseball.
It might stop baseball, but I think, don't the owners have deeper pockets? They can hold out longer.
Yeah.
And then
how come
you let it go 2 years, and every player that's in MLB is 2 years older, and the money's not coming in, and you're starting to see these are the best years of my career taken away. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know why. Tough. Why don't we talk NASCAR playoffs? Probably because instead of having a few hundred people watching between X and YouTube, I might have you and your friends only watching if I talk NASCAR. I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow NASCAR a whole lot.
It's big though. It's a whole new audience, Dan.
Maybe so. Maybe we'll do a little test on it. Maybe we'll get Am Hornkey, Horny. I think that's Horn. Oh, I'm Horn. Okay. I get it. I'm horny. Oh, jeez. All right. Just pronounced her. Okay. So he's NASCAR. Come in and do a NASCAR. Yeah. We can. Yeah. Maybe after the playoffs and there's nothing going on. Before we wrap this up, I wanted to get to this one. And I like this one from George. Sign Bichette and somehow trade for Quan. Giants could have a top of the order with Quan, Bichette, and Devers. That would be a nice top of the lineup. I would be all for that. And I'll tell you, if you did that, you would have to trade. You'd probably have to trade for Quan, Eldridge, and Ramos in the deal. Let me just play with it and I'll show you, and then we'll see if that works. Giants and the Indians. Where are the Indians? I don't see them. Oh, they're the Guardians. I'm calling them the Indians. How's that? They're the Indians. All right, so the Giants are going to trade for Stephen Kwan. Calling out Stephen Kwan. No, you don't have to do both. Kwan's only a 34.7. He's dropped. So you can do magic. Okay. Let's do. All right. So the Giants are going to, who the Giants going to give up, guys? The Giants are going to not have to give up as much as I thought to get Kwan. They might even be able to get, Stephen Kwan straight up for Tristan Beck. I think the Indians would love that deal.
Huh?
I'm joking. What would they want? What would they want? They would want, what they want, what we can give them 40. Okay. So Quan is a 34.7. Eldridge is a 41. So we might be able to get, maybe. Oh, could we get Cade? No, Cade Smith is expensive now. Cade Smith has gone up to a 40. I was thinking, hey, maybe we can get Emmanuel Class A since he's no longer playing. Let me ask you this, guys. I don't know is there a way to do this without giving up Eldridge? You could go 34. All right. I think we could do it. I think we could do this. There's that. And there's that. Let's do it this way. All right, where are we at right now? Oops. Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting I'm doing this without you guys watching. So we'll do this a little bit together. So we're putting this together. Okay, so right now I've got Quan for Ramos and Wisenhunt. We need another 6 from the Giants to make it a little bit more equal, maybe 8. How about if we give up, you know what? Would you give up Tyler Fitzgerald? No, he might fit well under Tony's scheme of things, huh? With some speed. We need some speed. I hate to get rid of Ramos, but you're going to have to give up something if you want Quan, right? Ramos is an all-star. How about if we gave up I don't want to give up Casey unless I had Bichette. How about this guy? We got shortstops coming. We got Gavin Killeen. He'll be here in a year. How's that trade for you guys? Oops. I hit the wrong thing there. Let me show you the trade. How's that trade? Ramos, Wisenhunt, and Diego Velasquez for Stephen Kwan. It might do that, Cleveland. You know, they get a young top 100 pitcher in Wisenhunt. They get Diego Velasquez. I would like that. Says you don't have to trade both. What was that to? Eldridge. Yeah, you don't have to trade. You don't even have to trade Eldridge in that deal. Devers, Chap, Webb. What are we talking about here? If you sink a bunch of money into this team this offseason and there isn't baseball in 27, this team could be very ugly and come 28. I still think they should sell off on any of the big vets they can. Okay. Which he's talking. And yes, that means Devers, Chapman, and Webb. I'll tell you my feeling, the Giants aren't beating the Dodgers anytime soon with Tony V. This is the time for a rebuild. I know I'm alone on this, but it is what I want. Guys, I have this theory. Philip says he doesn't think there's a lockout. I believe baseball learned their lesson somehow, some way they get figured out. Ned Coletti doesn't believe there'll be a lockout either. Yes, trade Cleveland, Bo Davidson, Wisenhunt, Gilbert, and Velasquez. How many points is that? That's more than enough. Bo Davidson's worth 14. You're keeping. You're talking about keeping Ramos. Yeah, that would be enough to get it done. Bo Davidson's worth 14. Wisenhunt is worth 11. So there's 25. Velasquez worth 7. You're up to 32, 33. And then by adding in Gilbert, you're way over, actually. So
Gilbert's not going anywhere now.
Not with Tony V. I don't think so. Says you're trading Ramos and keeping Casey. Well, I got to have a second baseman, George. If I get Bichette, I'd be willing to trade Casey. But until I get somebody to replace Casey, why would I trade Casey when I'm getting an outfielder in Kwan? Where are you going to put? You're going to have to put Ramos at DH, or I don't see. Yeah, Kwan's your left fielder if you get Kwan. I wouldn't trade Ramos either, Adrian. I like Adrian. I like Gutierrez, but I don't think Cleveland is taking anybody but Ramos if you're not willing to give up Eldridge. If they're willing to, and they're not going to trade Ramos straight up. So I don't know. As far as seniors go, comments on trading some of these guys off. I think the Giants, this is my prediction. The Giants are going to run it back with everybody they got. Chapman, Adames, Lee, Webb, everybody they have on this team. They might trade a Ramos if they got, a player that's better, that like a Kwan. But I don't think they're going to. I think what the Giants are going to do is Tony's going to bring in his guys, his system with what we talked about with the bat speed, the drive line, the different type of hitting coach that supports that. There's going to be no room for any Pat Burrells on this team, period. Pat Burrell, dinosaur, gone, okay? Those dinosaur coaches, Matt Williams, they're already gone, but they're not bringing in guys like that. So what I think the Giants do and what Buster does is that these guys get better like the 21 team did with veterans like Belt and Crawford and they're going to change, they're going to get their bat speed a little better, and they're going to make better contact. And if the Giants are somehow not in contention at the trade deadline, or they are in contention, but then they don't make the playoffs, it gets blown up after the 26th season. That's my prediction. I don't think they bring this club as it is intact back after next season, if next season's a failure.
Yeah. Well, they'd have to because at that point it would be 2 years of not working. Right. So you can't change the manager again. So you're going to have to change the next thing.
Yep. Right. And that's the players.
Which is the team.
Which is the team. And that would be guys like Chapman. I think they would push to say, hey, look, we know you have a no trade contest clause, but we're going to have to, we're changing our approach here. If you want to be part of it, you might not play too much, but we would,
But you're still going to write the checks, right?
Yeah. I think Chapman would rather play than sit. But I don't think they would sit him personally. I mean, if he's making that much money, but I think there's ways to trade people with no trade clauses. You offer them.
Certainly, especially if they go to a good team.
Right. Adrian says they can't trade Chapman. Sure they can, Adrian. They can trade him with his permission.
Yeah.
And teams do it all the time. They get fed up with the current situation and they realize it's going nowhere.
Has to be to the Dodgers, but
Yankees, Dodgers, something like that. But
Mets.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Tomorrow, Sunday, we got Niners, 10 o'clock in the morning, taking on the Houston Texans. Mac Jones will be back, I think, under center. I think it's been set. Podden says, who's going to eat Chapman's contract? Well, part of it's going to be the Giants. They're going to have to pay part of it to have somebody accept his contract. No one's taken Chapman's contract as is, unless it's a team that is willing to take his contract up but give you nothing in return. You'd get a number 75th prospect on your team. I mean,
maybe if he hits 35 home runs and 280 next year, then.
George says, Dan, the Giants are not blowing up the roster of next season as a failure. If we fail, it's because we did not add enough again. I have to disagree. Buster's going to be all in or he'll be all out.
We have to add. You can't run the same thing out, especially in the pitching staff. If the pitching staff is emaciated like it is right now, the Giants don't have a chance next year.
Maybe in 27 season, maybe you lose Robbie Ray's contract. You still have Jung-Hoo Lee, Adames, Devers, and Chapman though, and Webb. I don't know what you're going to do. If you're not willing to add, George, you're going to have to add by addition by subtraction. You're going to have to pick a lane. You can't. I don't think the Giants' philosophy is to go out and spend a ton of money. I really don't. I don't think they're going to spend over, they're not going to go up to the 300 million level. I just don't see them doing that. And I don't see them going over the luxury tax. If they do, that means they're going to come back down the next year. And I don't see that. I don't see the Giants doing it.
Nope. But you have to hope they add in the right places. They have to put a competitive product on the field. And
like Mark says, Johnson not spending.
There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
I don't think they spend. So, but anyway, Giants are, 49ers tomorrow, 10 o'clock. No baseball tomorrow. So we'll probably just take the night off, I would imagine. I don't think we got anything going. I'll be doing post-game 49ers over with Larry on the Krug Show at 1 o'clock right after the game. And then we will is it a trap game for the Niners tomorrow? Aaron says it could be. You got the Giants next week in New York. Then you got the Rams following week in week 10 back at Levi's. It could be. I think the trap game's the Giants personally. I think that's the trap game.
Yep,
I think,
agree with you.
I think tomorrow they're a little more focused. I think if they win tomorrow, I think they could get upset in New York. Okay. All right. George says Giants should trade Robbie Ray to the Mets for a top 8 prospect, get their first base and outfield, use that money. I'm all for trading Ray, but where are you going to get pitching? You're already short on pitching. I have to see. For a top 8 prospect, is he a top 8 prospect in all of baseball or a top 8 prospect in the Mets system, George? Because if he's a top 8 prospect in all of baseball, Robbie Ray is not going to fetch that. If he's the number 8 prospect in the Mets organization, you might be able to fetch that. But if he's a top 8 overall prospect in all of baseball, Robbie Ray ain't touching anything close to that. So, yeah. All right, guys, let's get the music going and we'll get ourselves out of here. I need a cookie.
It's hard to trade pitching when you don't have pitching.
Correct.
But maybe there's some magic that will happen here. That's what they need. Pitching, bullpen pitching.
Yeah. I think I'll be very happy if the Giants add pitching, and a little bit more pitching, as you say, Dallas, pitching. Giants need pitching. I think the Giants, with a new offensive mindset, with the horses they have, adding one bat in the offseason and lots of pitching, could turn the team around to get him into the playoffs.
We could go with one more horse, though, right?
Yeah, let's get a horse in there. Let's. We need more horses than that. How about? I think the Giants need lots of horses. Give us another horse. Love it. Adrian, Dan, channel Best Major League Baseball. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate that. Hold your horses, Dan. That's Dallas, man. I don't have the horses. Dallas has got the horses. Need clutch hitting and defense and pitching. All right, guys. Go Niners tomorrow. Can we get a Go Niners?
Go Niners.
All right. Take care, everybody.